Hello, I'm Jennifer Broniste, and this is my mentor.
I'm Sarah McFate.
And we're going to talk about my first secondary lesson for module number 3.
Okay, so this lesson was focused on questioning
Yes.
and main idea, and it was in a resource setting, in a special ed setting. And so, how do you think the lesson went?
I think it went pretty well. I think that there are some areas where I can improve for sure. I think that, of course, classroom management is not necessarily my strength. And I know that I had a student who was a little antsy during the video and kind of distracting to the class. So I think that was my major improvement that I need to work on for sure.
So, like on your rubric, that's one thing that I get marked down on 2 on that because there was a student who was not participating like the other students, and during the partner work, I think he might have benefited from being individual instead of maybe distracting his partner and other people in the class
Right.
from the lesson. But I thought the lesson went really well. And looking at my notes, I think that you did a great job modeling and you used technology. You displayed the book on technology. You not you didn't just tell the students how to infer or how to question during a book. You modeled it. So you would read a section and you would model. Oh, I think this, or this is what I'm thinking of, to get the students to not think of just little snippets, but the main picture and the whole idea of the passage. And I saw that there was a student that was struggling a little bit more, and I think that maybe in that sense you could have maybe gone over and helped that student a little more, less whole group. But other than that, I think it was great. I think that your assessment piece was good. You had guided work with a partner, and then after that they worked individually and they turned in a paper writing down questioning techniques and main idea after they read their own book, which I think it's great to individualize and let them read their own book instead of everybody reading the same book.
Right. Right.
Um,
Did you think there was anywhere I could have maybe used a little more work? Do you think that maybe they should have more practice on the independent part?
I think so. I think that maybe more time them working by themselves than just with a partner. I think working with a partner is very beneficial, especially for students in special education who maybe peer tutoring is a very good accommodation for them.
Right.
But I think also if they're struggling in the area, then maybe some individual work where you can go around and help students individually would be
Right.
more beneficial than maybe them working with a partner and both of them struggling. But
Right.
I think a good balance is what's needed instead of one or the other.
Right. Well, I know my target student, Allie, works really well with peers, and she gets a little more intimidated with when it's one on one with just me. But but I think for the majority of my students, that's probably true. I should probably do more individualized, kind of one on one.
I think it's great to have a mix because of that. You know that you're trying to hit students' individual needs and hit their accommodations. So you're giving Allie a little bit of time, individual and independent, where you can work with her, but you're also giving her time with her peers as well. And then vice versa for students who maybe don't work as well with peers, like the student that was having behavior issues.
Right. Right.
But I thought the lesson was great. I thought that you did a great job modeling. I think sometimes when we are teaching, it is hard to remember we're not just telling them, talking to them. We need to model and show them and practice, practice, practice. And so I think that you provided that for these students during that lesson.
Okay.
All right.
So, is there anything else?
I don't think so. I think everything else was great. Just that one student that had the behavior issue and maybe just a little bit more individualized time.
Okay.
All right.